ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Raw and Uncut. Um, I want to welcome everybody back. We've been gone for a couple weeks. We got some things we had to work out and whatnot. We got some things coming. We got people coming. Um, First, let me start by saying hi to my co-host.
Hey, Anton, how you doing? Sorry about that. I was in another world. How y'all doing today?
Doing all right, and our special guest.
Hey,
So, also
Okay,
before
I'm
we get
sorry.
started, I want y'all to like and subscribe to the page.
Yes,
So,
please like and
to
subscribe.
today we are going to do our Halloween special, and we are going to talk about the Day of the Dead and some other things that fall along in that line. So, ladies, um, how do y'all feel about Halloween and the Day of the Dead?
I mean, for me, I don't believe in the day to day part. It's just more so with me having a kid, it's trick or treating for me.
Okay.
I mean, so for me, it does mean Day of the Dead. It also means the Night of the Witches. It means all of that to me. However, I am not going to deny the fact that when the children were young, I did not look at it in that respect. I looked at it as fun, having a good old time, laughing and joking, eating up all the candy you can get,
Hmm.
cavities, the whole nine. Me stealing my son's Reese's peanut butter cups, that was everything. So yeah,
Yes.
that's really what it was for me, or is, or okay, that's better.
Okay. So, for me, when I was growing up, that's what it was about: the trick or treating and the candy, and getting to dress up in costumes. But as I got older,
Yeah.
and I started to understand that what was going on around me, and my mom has always been a spiritual person. So when she got deeper in the word, I got deeper. And the
Mm-hmm.
things, as like I said, as I got older, and I started understanding that we're not fighting just a physical battle. We're fighting a spiritual battle. We're fighting a mental battle. There's things going on around us that we really don't understand. Um, and you got to understand this time of the year, they talk about child trafficking and how it's a big thing right now. Well, what they don't talk about is that this time of the year is when most of it happens, when a lot of kids come up missing and a lot of sacrifices and blood sacrifices and things go on. Like people just think, well, it's a full moon. They don't understand that that really does affect a person. Like uh, the rays from the moon affects a person's chemistry, and it does something to a person. Uh, there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't really talk about, and a lot of people know about it, but they just don't want to speak about it.
Right, right. I think for me, I really, it doesn't matter to me what anyone celebrates in terms of whether they celebrate Halloween or not. Um,
Right.
but as for me, as I've gotten older, um, I do look at things completely different. Like I said, back then it was all about fun, costumes, dressing up. I remember what I went as when I was growing up. And I really loved it until the one day, there's a story, until the one day I scared the living daylights out of this old lady. I will never, ever forget. And I felt so bad. That was the last time I actually did trick or treat. That was the very last time. Um,
Wow.
my sister, all of them, they were into that. And she liked to dress me up and do whatever. And what she did was she took red lipstick, put it all over my face. I had the dark eyes, dark everything. I had the little thing going down here. I mean, the whole nine. And I had what looks like blood that was coming down my face. And there was an older lady. I swear she was, at that time, she had been in her 70s. She had to have been. And she opened up that door, you guys, and I swear to you, she threw the candy at me. Literally threw it. She yelled, and after she yelled, I'm like, well, damn, anyway, she yelled and then she threw the candy. She didn't hand me the candy. I'm only, what, 8, 9 years old. You're throwing candy at me. And I knew at that moment I had scared her so bad. And I was like, that's it. And for me, as a child, it was a conscious decision to stop. Now,
okay, this might be wrong, but I'm a prankster. I like to scare people. I mean, that I'd have found that hilarious. Like I don't know. Like I'd have just kept knocking on the door. Like she'd have had to come back and keep seeing me. But I don't know. I guess I got a sick kind of sense of humor.
when you 8 years old, what you supposed to do? She scared me because
Right.
I scared her, you know.
Okay. So let me ask you this: has anybody other than me had supernatural things happen to them? Okay. So an example. When my mom moved us to Kentucky, we lived on First in Kentucky. Okay, and we lived on the third floor of this building, right? And we was all sitting in the living room. We was all watching a movie, eating pizza. Well, all of a sudden, we heard like the cabinets closing. And instead of anybody getting up and going to look and see what was going on, my mama said some things and it stopped. So the movie kept playing. All of a sudden, it started happening again. And when my mom said something to the entity again, telling them to stop, like my right hand, plates and things flew out of the kitchen.
I believe it.
Like
Oh, wow.
it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. So then she had bought me these figurines. They were clown faces. One was smiling and one was frowning. Well, when I used to lay in my bed at night, I used to sing myself to sleep. So one night I was singing myself to sleep, and I just happened to be looking at the clown faces, and the one that was frowning started smiling. The one that was smiling started frowning. When I tell you I got the fuck out of there, and I was like, Mom, you got to take these out of my room. I'm not going back in there. She was like, oh, you're going back in there and you're going to bed and yada, yada. So not too long after that, we moved. Well, just so happens, the clowns didn't make it. They failed. They broke. They didn't make it.
Wonder how that happened.
Oh, I don't know. I was young. Things happen. But that was just one mentee of things that have happened in my life that lets me know that not only are we fighting a spiritual battle, but there's demons walking around, there's angels walking around, and there is a higher power working around us.
Agree. What about you, Stacy?
I mean, recently it's been little things like my daughter's TV turning on just randomly or lights flickering. Her iPad going on and off. But I mean, I've never believed in that or that being or that spirit. But I mean, I'm learning to.
Well, there's something I want to tell you all.
Yep.
Not even sure how to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. So,
You're a ghost?
I used to, right? No, I actually used to research that. I used to research.
Okay.
Some people call it ghost hunting, but I actually did research where
Okay.
I would go to locations and really, really do it. Like really, really try to discover if there really were. And the reason being is because as a child, things happen. And I always felt like there's more to this world than just say you and I always felt like there were other entities in this world, but I could never see them, right? You could never see them. And again, like I said, I have so many stories, but I've even got, and I even will put this up here at some point in this broadcast and show you all the picture. But there is a picture of me when I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia, at the the battlefield. And we were standing in front of this home that was actually used for soldiers that had died or came to die or whatever.
Right.
And as I was talking, I kept on saying, man, it feels like something is watching me. It really felt like that. And you could literally see me talking to whomever as they took this picture, because they took the picture when I said it. When they took the picture, behind me in the doorway, there was an old lady. She looked like a hag. And she was just standing there looking. And she was the only, and I'm going to tell you, the house was completely vacant. It was vacant. And so I knew that there was something to this. As I started really studying, I knew that there was something to this. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like it was a bad force or a good force that was attached to you?
I don't think it ever really attached. It never attached itself to me. So
Okay.
I can tell you that. That's for sure. It never attached itself to me. It was just more or less like I can't explain it, but you could feel
The presence.
the presence, and that's why I began to speak like this. I'm like, I remember saying something like, there's something over my shoulder now, or something to that effect. And that was when the girl took the picture. And when she took the picture, that's what showed up. But what it is for the lady, I don't feel like it was, I don't think that it was a bad entity. I don't think it was a good entity. Don't know what kind of entity it was. But what I do know is that it seemed to be more interested in what I was doing, because she was literally staring at me.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to show the clip of that at some point in this
Okay.
broadcast.
So let me ask you ladies this. Am I the only one who's played with a Ouija board and tried to talk to a dead person?
I've never read Ouija board.
Okay.
I refuse to work with a Ouija board. So those things, right? There's a story behind that too, believe it or not. But anyway, yeah, I do not deal with Ouija boards. I feel like you're messing around. You really are messing around with something that we all don't understand. And I feel like you're inviting that individual into your, or that spirit into your home. You literally, if you're calling on them through that Ouija board, then you're inviting them to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've done some research myself, which is why I will never touch a Ouija board again.
What happened?
I've been just I reached out trying to talk to somebody, and to say the least, the conversation went sideways. So I went and I threw the Ouija board away. Went back to the
You
house.
can't just tell us the conversation went sideways, Anton. We gotta know.
Yeah, that's God, I haven't told nobody this.
I mean, it's
tried to talk to my I tried to talk to my father, and I don't like the way the conversation went. I don't feel like I was talking to my father.
You weren't.
Like I said, I went and I threw the Ouija board away. Went home, went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, the Ouija board was sitting in my room.
Oh my!
It God, that's messing with me. I ended up destroying the board. I am better in my faith now today than I was when I was in my teenage years, in my 20s. And I have repented for that. But I think some of the spankings I've had to deal with are off of the back of that. I want people to really understand, like, not only when I talk about spirituality, it's not just going to church and things like that. Like, it's the person you sleep with. Like, soul ties are real, and the demons that are attached to that person will attach itself to you. And people don't understand why they feel a certain way, or why their mind is toxic, or why they can't go forward. It's because of the things you do in life. There are demons that will attach themselves to you. People don't know. Alcoholism, to me, is a demon.
That's a demon.
Drug addiction, that's a demon. Suicide, that's a demon. A lot of people can beat them.
Something.
Right. And people can beat them. But you have to know what you're fighting. You have to know what to say. You gotta show yourself studied and approved. You gotta know what prayers to say. You know, everybody's praying to Jesus, but there was no J's when he was around. His name is Yahweh. That's God. Yahweh, that was his name. You got to know how to speak to him. You got to know how to put the blood of Yahweh on you. You have to know these things. You have to know what prayers to say for certain situations. A lot of people don't know, and a lot of people right now today don't care.
I think and you're absolutely right. I'll tell you the truth, Anton. So I know there are spirits in this world, and be honest with you, I almost feel like if you look to your right or to your left, you probably got them right beside you. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I do feel that people do need to be careful, especially when they feel that they've seen their loved ones. And I say that off of my own experience as well. I say that because the devil has a way of tricking you and sending a demon that poses as a loved one. Yeah. So not all ghosts are ghosts, but there are such things as ghosts. They got their, right. I mean, it's in the Bible. It's part of the Trinity. You know, you got the Holy Ghost, but understand, if you got the Holy Ghost, what's the flip side? You get what I'm saying? It's always there's always a yin and a yang, no matter how you see it. And so I think when people are witnessing who, you know, they feel might be their loved ones from whatever, and things act or appear different or weird, or not even who those people were when they were here, you kind of, and you're afraid of it. Because one thing we you know, when you're afraid of something like that, then obviously it was there to terrorize you. It's there to terrorize you. And you're calling. Right. So, yeah.
Well, I do feel that way, but I also feel like if a person dies, right, and their soul goes to heaven, why are they going to stick around here to talk to you?
So
heaven is heaven is supposed to be paradise, right?
Yeah.
I don't think what's sticking around is that person. I think it's the spirit that was with that person. So when we go to funerals, we tell them to rest in peace. But then we tell them, I need you. I miss you. I wish you was here to talk to me. People play with Ouija boards. People do seances. People go to fortune tellers. People go to, all of that. So how's that person resting in peace if
you're constantly calling?
Right.
So okay, here's my thought. I don't believe that when we die, we automatically go to heaven or hell. I really don't. I believe it's a state of sleep. I do. And the reason I say that is because the day of judgment has not happened. You know what I'm saying? The what do you call it? The
final judgment.
Rapture. The rapture, none of that has happened. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I know that, in the book it does, the Bible, that is, there is mention of that, and the fact that we really don't go anywhere. Our spirits will be lifted.
Right.
Our spirits will be lifted when Christ comes. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's what it says. I can't argue it. It just is. But the demons were here long before any of our relatives passed away. They were already here. They just took a form of what we think and we understand. They do that. And I feel like it's like if someone is posing as my mom, who's obviously passed away, or an entity or a ghost shows up as my mom who's passed away, and I'm totally freaked out by it, I don't find that to be a good thing. I actually find that to be a bad thing. And
right.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing, and again, I could be wrong. I just don't feel like when the person dies, I feel like they're at rest. I feel like that's it. However, when the rapture comes and all of that, that's when I'm thinking, again,
everybody goes.
Yep. Not everybody goes, but everybody, those people, whether you're even alive right now and that rapture comes, it's just like that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So with you feeling that way, how do y'all feel about people saying or talking about reincarnation?
I've heard people say somebody's passed away and they believe that spirit or that person is in an animal, like say their cat, their bird, or their dog. Or they feel like maybe it's in a child or a person they come in close contact with. They feel like that's somebody that they've met.
Okay.
I can see that, but I don't know. Me personally, I haven't had any experience with it.
Okay.
So let me ask you something, Stacy, because I feel like, and Anton, you can chime in on this one too.
Okay.
Have you all never dreamed about someone who's passed on and they never speak to you in that dream, but you know exactly what they're saying?
Yes.
And they always appear to be a lot younger than what they were when they left.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't really believe in reincarnation, but okay. One, I don't want to come back as a dog or no kind of animal. I don't want to be abused. I don't want to. Don't put me outside.
I don't even want to be a fly. If I'm a fly, I ain't got long at all.
No, I don't want none of that. I don't. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I leave this earthly plane, I don't want to come back.
I don't want to be back here either. I don't.
Like,
this is not
me neither.
Okay, and this is an unpopular opinion, and it's only my opinion. It's how I feel. I've been through enough hell on this earth. I'm doing what I can to make sure I make it to heaven. Now, if I die and there's not a heaven, so what? I did what I had to do in case there is, and I get there. I did what I had to do because if I do die and there is a hell, and I've already lived in hell, why would I want to go someplace worse than what I went through in life? That's crazy. That's crazy. And I don't like the heat. Okay, I hate to sweat. I don't want to burn. I don't.
Really?
But right, like in all seriousness, like I've only known true peace on this earth a few times, okay? And that was during certain situations. When I leave, I want to be at peace. I want to be at rest. I don't want to worry. I don't want to feel pain. What gets me is, especially old people that die, and they die of cancer or they die of heart problems or diabetes or anything. And then I go to these funerals and I see people, I wish you were still here. Why would you want them here still going through that? What kind of selfish ass shit is that?
It's a selfish act that we all go through.
No, I have never sat at a funeral. I have never sat at a funeral and looked at a person and said, you know what? I wish you were still here for my purposes.
No.
Because Huh?
Oh, I was telling you, right. No, I never did that either. I thought you meant like when they passed on, you kind of just, you wish they were still here.
I want to talk to my grandfather every day. Would I bring him back to this whack ass earth? Absolutely not. I know what he went through before he passed, and I would not want him to go through that again. I would not want him to go through the chemo. I would not want him to go from a healthy, stocky guy to almost 60 pounds. I don't want to watch that no more. I don't want to see him hurt. I don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this world holds for me. Kids are not making it to 17, 18, and they are getting killed in the streets. I don't know what that kid done to bring that shit on himself or herself. I feel for the parents because no parent should have to bury their kid. No parent. And I truly believe that. But there's a reason that kid is not here. There are people that was shot 10, 11 times and survived. This child got shot in the leg and he's not here no more. There's a reason. We don't understand the reason because it's not for our understanding. There's so much, like I said, going on, and people are just trying to look at it in one lane, in one black or white lane, and that's not it. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not putting in all those factors.
What do you think about that, Stacey?
I believe that. I believe you have car crashes that are not fatal, but somehow somebody passes away in it by some form of injury. I believe that a lot of people get shot. Like, what was it? 50 Cent got shot 9 times and he's still alive.
Mm.
You've had Tupac got shot about the same thing and he passed away.
The first time he got shot 9 times and he survived. The second time he got shot,
seven.
Yeah,
that was a lot of shots.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but he died,
right? But he made it through the first one. So
well, the reason I'm okay. So so honestly, I'm the kind of person I kind of feel like you live by the sword, you die by it.
Okay.
Meaning, if you are all about whatever it is, I mean, we can talk about food for real. You all
for
about
real?
that food. At the end of the day, the food can kill you. You all
Absolutely.
about, you know what I'm saying? You all about that gunplay? Guess what? The gun can kill you.
That, yeah.
Okay. You all about that fighting and carrying on? Guess what? That fight can kill you. You know what I'm saying? If you're all about speeding, flying up and down the road and carrying on, guess what? That car can kill you. So I guess what I am saying is that I really believe in my heart of hearts that you live by a sword. It's that sword that very well could take you out of here. 9 times out of 10, it is that sword.
Yeah.
If you really go back and you look at all the people that we've all lost, you know, whether it was through drugs, whether, you know, even natural death itself, age, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not a sword, but it's age. You don't know what that person did to their bodies long before all that. You see what I'm saying?
To get them in that position, right?
Right. You don't know. So I feel like, and if it isn't the act of what you love that takes you out, I feel that it's the act of what you did love at some point in time that is included in your departure. I could be wrong. Who am I? That's just Glow's opinion.
I don't believe that you're wrong, because there are people that are out here and they live for sex, and then they go to have sex and have a heart attack. Why?
Wait. Whoa, wait.
Where'd you go? Okay.
What up, though? You know what? Look at what we're talking about, y'all.
And you disappeared.
When the truth is being put out, anything will try to stop it.
So this doesn't shock me even a little bit.
They're like, okay, so like, God, there's so much. There's so much.
Let's go for it. Whatever.
We did a show on Karens. We looked at one video when we did that show, and you seen the demon in her. Okay, can't make this up. Cannot make this up.
Yeah, go back to
episode 2.
Want to watch that? Go back to number 2, relationship goals. Is it? No, it wasn't. No,
it was Karens.
Meet the Karens. Go back to that one of the first episodes that we did. Meet the Karens, and you will see her. But go ahead.
And that's what I'm saying. There are demons attached to people, and they don't even realize where they're acting the way they're acting.
That's true. And it, you know, and you said something that really, really. I'm actually going back to something you said earlier about the moon and all that good stuff. Well, and also the reincarnation part. I will tell you now, I don't want to give the university's name, but there is a well-known hospital in Virginia that has a department that is only for people who have been through reincarnation. They literally study that. And
what?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Wow.
So
that's
if
a lot.
hospital is researching it and studying it,
somebody believes it.
Thousands and millions of dollars to fly people overseas to interview these little ones who are saying they've lived before.
Okay, so with that, do you feel like deja vu is part of that?
I do. I do. Although scientists will say differently. You know how scientists, doctors, people like that are. They try to make it something totally different. But yes, I do believe that. I do feel that. I don't know if it's necessarily you. So yeah. The thing is, well, no, the reason I'm saying it sounding so kind of weird is because, all right, it's like when you're having those moments where it seems like you're having the deja vu. You've seen this before. You don't know where you've seen it, but you know exactly what's going to happen. But the moment you utter it out your mouth, it's gone.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You only allowed to think it. You're not allowed to speak it. If you speak it, it's gone. But if you're thinking and you're like, and the first
This is
thing
about
hollers
to
out, oh
happen.
my
This is
God,
about
that's
to
deja
happen.
vu.
Yeah, this person's about to walk in.
Yeah,
I
you
know
just
this
said it.
feeling. I've been here, yada yada. As soon as you say
just said
something,
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that kind of leads me to believe that, and I could be wrong, and God, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. But I feel like it's almost as if you're allowed to come back over and over and over and over and over again just to get it right. So a lot, the deja vu is something, yeah, you've seen it before. You've done it before. I just
Okay.
feel like, and again, I could be wrong. Again, God, please forgive me if I am. But I just feel like, how can you remember something that never happened? That's one. I know that neurologists, oh, your brain's doing a snap. That's an electrical impulse. Okay, that's cool. And you're saying that it's registering with our brain before we can see, no, it's registering with our eyes before we can see it before we can get it to register to our brain. Got a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, what do you use when you're looking at stuff? What do you use first to even comprehend what you're seeing? It's your brain.
Right.
So
Right.
how are you telling you that my eyes are reacting to something that my brain has yet to pick up on? No,
Right.
I don't believe that. So I do feel like there was a point in time, I can't say necessarily now or not, but I will say there was a point I really believed that God allowed us to live again and again and again and again until we got it, till we get it right. And I feel like that's the deja vu that people are experiencing. Again, Glow's opinion. That's it.
Okay. Stacey, how do you feel?
I believe in deja vu. I believe in when you have a dream, it's something you want to see, something you want to come true, or something that you want or see in the future. Um, I know a point in time where I went to a tarot person, and
Oh
she
yeah.
read my what she thought my future and my past or all that was going to be. Sketchy in the beginning, but all in all, I felt like what she seen and how she felt things were going to turn out has turned out.
But can I ask you something, Stacey? Could that just have been common sense? And the reason I'm asking is because
No, not
okay.
not the way she seen it. Not in the situation I was in. I mean, I think she read I guess my mood, or she felt something that was next to me or on me for her to feel or read something about me.
Now, are
Um,
you talking about when you were saying the sketchy part, or are you talking about toward the end when she was talking about what you feel like is happening now? Like, which part are you talking about
Yeah.
that you feel like?
That she was homing in on something.
I mean, I never believed in people actually reading tarot cards anyway. So
Okay.
that's the sketchy part for me. So when I actually sat down with one, and then they telling me about certain things and they reading certain things, it can make a believer out of you, especially when time has
You
passed
want to
and things
believe,
have.
maybe you want to believe. Do you think it could be because you really want, when you go and seek a person, you're trying to seek knowledge. So do you think that it's because you want to believe, and then all of a sudden your mind is saying, okay,
Like your
she's
mind
right.
is telling you that's what it is.
Right. And then all of a sudden, don't you know that they can see your facial expressions? And if they read you, they automatically got you.
I don't really have facial expressions. I have the same one. So if you say certain things are going to happen or whatever, I mean,
Stacey.
I'm a little iffy. Like I'm not the type of person to like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's me. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit there and listen to you, let you talk until I actually feel like I need to show something. But I mean, you have to put me in my feelings for me to actually know that something's really going on. For me to get in my feelings, you really have to say something for me to show some form of affection, show some form of emotion. If you can't do that, I'm just gonna be sitting looking at you like a retarded.
What do you think, Anton? I mean, do you believe in tarot card readers and people that can see your fortune and all that good stuff?
Yes. Again, that falls in line with how I feel about everything. I am spiritual, but I do believe there's other things going on around me. I do think witchcraft is real. I think voodoo is real. I think hoodoo is real. Um,
The hoodoo and voodoo are two different things.
Same thing.
No?
It's just how you pronounce it.
Okay. Okay. My bad.
No, you good.
So you have warlocks, you have witches. It's you have dark magic and what they call light magic.
There's always a yin and a yin and a yang. Have you noticed?
I do feel like there are demons walking this earth in human form. Like Chris Angel, David Blaine, other people. I do think there are people that can look into your past or your future and see things. I do think there's a lot of frauds. Like she said, there's a lot of people that can read body language, facial expressions, things that you really don't know that you're doing that they're reading. Hell, the internet will tell you anything about a person in less than 5 minutes if you know how to look right. But I've been enough places and I've been around quite a many people that I do know they have gifts. I think everybody has a gift, whether it's singing, whether it's doing math. There's other gifts that people don't talk about, and I think those are one of them. I think one of the gifts some people close to me have is foresight. Because I think when they have dreams and they call you and be like, "Hey, I dreamed about you, and I haven't talked to you, but I feel like you've been going through this, this, and this, and you haven't told nobody," and they tell you to watch out for things, that's a premonition. And I feel like God gave this person this gift for a reason, because you're not seeing something and you're going to make a mistake, and He doesn't want you to go down that road, even though we have free will. There are always signs before destruction. Always. Always. Before something truly bad happens, there is always a warning. Now, whether you see it or not, that's on you. Because it's always there. Always. And then looking back and you'd be like, well, damn, I've seen that, but I really didn't pay attention to it. And then something bad happened. That's because He tried to show you. Or somebody came to you and was talking to you about it, but you, with your free will, did what you wanted to do, and then the outcome came out to what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been to a few. tarot card readers and whatnot, but there's two that I've went to that were spot on from jump. And
in what way?
In every way, for real. From the time we sat down and started talking to, I haven't talked to these two in, I want to say a little over a year or two, and everything they told me to watch out for just came to pass. Everything. Not one thing they have said, and both of them, because I went to them pretty much back to back. It was maybe like a month apart, but both of their readings focused on the same thing. And I'm gonna tell you something, Glow. You were one of them. I did not see it coming, and they told me about it. I can't make this up. Like, told me about put myself out there for people and get messed over. Here's one for you. Tell me that I might be leaving the state. Make that make sense. This was 2 years ago. Hadn't thought about it since till like right now, for real. So yeah, I do believe that there are people that come into your life and like they say God does everything for a reason. Well, God put people here to become doctors to help you when you're sick, even though big pharma and certain doctors do things to keep you sick, to keep getting money. But there are real people in the medical field that want to see you get better. They want to help you get better. They are out there. Now, they might be few and far between, but they are there.
Okay. So, all right. I agree. I will tell you this, though. I don't mess with any, what do you call those people? Tarot card readers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say I've never done it. That's to say I don't. That's it. So the thing is, I went when I was younger. I guess I couldn't have been no more than about 19. So all my life, up until lately, now I understand a lot of things. But all my life, I've always searched. I've always tried to search for the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing for me to pick up a phone, call somebody, the what do you call them, fortune tellers online, call me now. I mean, people like that, or you know what I'm saying? You could be at a festival or something, and you see someone with the circle thingy, you know, and the. So here's my thing. I feel, and if you notice, those people are usually asking for money. So here's my thing. If you have a gift of sight, of foresight, notice I say if you have a gift of foresight, why are you pimping it out?
Right.
Because see, that's when I stop believing you. I don't believe you at that point. Because I feel like if, you know, this could be my old Glow. This is my older Glow. But I really feel like I know God gives gifts to different folk, like you said. And I don't think it was meant for us to pimp it out.
Our gifts?
Meaning, let's say, for example, I was seeing something, but Anton, you got to pay me $100 before I give it to you. Then how can that be a gift?
Okay.
I got a question.
Okay.
You don't feel like the industry is pimping? Somebody has a gift for rapping and singing.
I'm gonna be 100 with you.
And they're paying
100,000 with you. There are very few and far between that are not. I really believe that it is a form of pimping someone out. Is it a gift? I don't know about that. But my thing is, it is a form of pimping someone out if that's your mind, if that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like the one thing that I know personally, and me and Anton talk about this a lot. And he says, "Glow, that's your personal feeling getting involved." I get that, but for me, it's like if I can't keep it in line
with your spirit,
it's hard. I feel like if I go against it, something horrible is going to happen.
Yep. Okay, you know? Because I'm glad you said that, and Stacey, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was about to say. Because I feel like Whitney Houston had a gift. That was a gift. That voice, you know, there are people that go out and become singers, but we both know from being in the industry that there's a lot of auto tuning and a lot of pitch correct and a lot of things that these people got to go to. Yeah. Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston. These are real gifts, okay? And since we're on the subject, let's talk about it.
Before you go there, let me ask you this. Those are gifts. Mm-hmm. But what was Whitney's sword?
Drugs.
And how did she die?
Drugs.
And what is that drug called again? Her what? Sword.
Talking about her sword? Yeah, her vice. Yeah.
Now you understand what I mean by you live by the sword?
Yep.
But go ahead, you were saying? Sorry.
So, Lucifer Morningstar, was one of the greatest angels ever. If people do their studies, they'll know that Lucifer was over the airwaves and over music. And he had one of the best voices that was singing in heaven. So when he was cast down, that's why you got to understand a lot of things that happen in the music industry are demonic. A lot of the sacrifices and things you do in the music industry that people are now starting to talk about more and more.
They're beginning to come up. They're waking up.
They are because it is demonic. There's a reason for that.
I mean,
like, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think it definitely can be extreme. Yeah, it's demonic. There's no doubt about that. We see it, but
yeah,
and it's so crazy. That's why it's like it was so important that if I'm gonna align myself with someone, I felt like I have to know that they feel kind of like that's not what we're doing this for. We're not doing it to pimp you out. We really want to see success in what it is that you have, your talent. It's never to try to say, okay, you got to sleep with that person. I wouldn't even like, I personally would have a fit for real, because man, that's opening up a whole new situation. But yeah, there's a lot of demonic forces within it. And I think a lot of it is coming from the music itself. I do feel like Lucifer, definitely, I do know that he was the angel of music. I understand that. But I also understand that God said to me, we must exalt him at all times.
At all times.
With his music, with our lives, with all those things. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to leave it alone on that part. Go ahead, Anton.
So, from rock and roll to heavy metal to country to rap to gospel, I'm going to tell you something. Hip hop and rap are so detriment right now to our people, when in the 80s and early 90s, it was about awareness. It was about
positive power, empowerment.
Positive, right. Building, getting the information out there, helping each other. Yeah. The shit that is going on now is all about doing drugs, fucking, and killing.
But that's what everybody, that's that drill
That's
music. And that's what everybody seems to be gravitating toward. Something wrong with that, ain't
right.
it? I think
But
there's
you
something
can't.
wrong with
Now, back in the day, just about every country song you listen to was sad and depressing. Every pop song you listened to was about partying. No music right now today, other than hip hop and rap, are a detriment to its people. Even heavy metal has changed. Even heavy metal has watered down itself to a certain point where you can't even call it heavy metal. They just call it metal. Ozzy Osbourne ain't out biting bats' heads off and rats'
I
heads
was
off
gonna say
anymore.
he's but I don't know, and I could be wrong. So before I say I'm gonna look it up. But hold up. Because you said speaking about Ozzy Osbourne.
Merlin Manson, you don't see him. Um, None of them. Gore, Judas Priest, uh, none of them. You don't see none of them.
Okay.
But every time you turn on a black station, you got Sexy Red talking about a booty hole and something, or you got these rappers out here talking about shooting up everything and ain't
Then
never
they
shot a gun in
actually.
their life.
Mm. But you know what? You keep on talking like that and keep on putting that stuff out there, it's going to become a part of your life at some point. It
Yep.
can easily become a part of your life.
Yeah, Mo 3.
People take you serious. People
Yeah.
listen to your music and they take you
All Mo
serious.
3 talked about was him being a stepper, him being a shooter. He'll never get caught without it. And what happened? He got caught without it and shot and killed on the expressway. Trying to run away. You sit your fat ass down. Why did you get out of the car? I don't ain't no way. I don't it blows my mind.
What about these women? Okay, all right. So I mean, to each his own. But I will tell you, I don't have to agree with it if I don't want to. Just letting everybody know that now.
You don't.
But no, I'm saying. So my thing is, what about these ladies out here? We all saw it. So the snake actually represents sex. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
Yes.
So when Megan Thee Stallion.
The WAP twins. Yeah.
Kris Jenner's daughter.
Kim.
No, the other one, the youngest one. A model.
Kendall.
Chloe.
No,
Chloe's not the youngest. Kendall
was
is
in,
the youngest.
Kendall was in that video. Megan Thee Stallion was in the video. Or was that Nicki Minaj? Was that Nicki Minaj or was that?
No, Nicki wasn't in it. That's when her and Cardi was beefing.
It might have been Cardi. I don't know. Anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make is, as you all noticed, that they were going through the different rooms. I don't know if y'all really paid attention to that entire thing or not. But there were
the different sex rooms.
But there were snakes all within there. So the representation of snakes, we already know what that is. But we also know what the representation of snakes are too. So I'm saying there's more than one representation of a snake. You got the theory that you dream about snakes, then that means you want to have sex. But it's true. That's what they're saying. That's what they say. Then you put but you're putting snakes in your videos, and at that point we know that's about sex. But then is it more than sex? Because Why would you want something that you know represented the devil, which is the serpent? Why would you want to put that in the video? I don't know. I'm just curious. What do y'all think? And before you answer that, let's take a quick break. Okay. So we're back, and when we left off, we were talking about
The
Megan
WAP video.
Stallion's. What is the name of it? WAP. Wasn't it SWAP?
It's
WAP.
WAP.
Yeah.
WAP.
WAP. Wet ass pussy. That's
Wet
what it
ass
was called.
pussy,
Okay.
right?
Let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So
wet ass pussies. So, yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
So there was a lot of meanings in that video. There was a lot of demonic signs in that video, from the snakes to the checkerboards to the signs that was throwing up. They call it programming for a reason. You got to understand, there's always been a sexual innuendo in hip hop. What you need to pay attention to is right after WAP came out and all they getting all these awards and everything, as far as women rap was concerned, it became so much more hypersexualized. Okay. There's not a person that can sit here today and tell me we have a woman rapper like Queen Latifah or MC Light or hell, Mia X, Marvelous. The list is astronomical. But everybody, any girl that wants to rap today, you ask them who their influence are, they're going to say Cardi B, they're going to say Megan Thee Stallion, they're going to say Lotto, Sexy Red. Why is it, to me? Okay, because everybody knows that the snake means sex, and that, you know, the snake is what made Eve eat the apple and all this, and how the snake goes with Satan and yada yada. Why is it only black? What?
It's an insect, but go ahead.
Right. Why is it that Taylor Swift does it and get away with it, but she doesn't have to show her pussy? She doesn't have to shake her ass. She doesn't have to make little white girls want to go out and become hoes. Why is it just black women?
That's a very good question.
That is a good question.
That's a very good question. I never even saw it like that. The only white woman that I saw that pulled that off that I can remember is Madonna.
Iggy Azalea, Madonna.
What's her name? Lady Gaga. Well, she's more into that.
Lady Gaga wasn't about the sexual part. She was more about the demonic part.
Demonic, yeah. So the question, so I know that Madonna, of course, you know, she did a full-fledged nude in the middle of a street.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was nothing, but this was back years and years, back when she was really young when she did that.
Late 80s, mid 80s. Sorry, ladies. Sorry.
Okay. We understand you want to fight your camera. It's okay. Go ahead.
I think it's one of these spirits trying to keep me off the camera. So it's not going to win today, Satan. Get behind me.
But go ahead.
Yeah, it was like the mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
It was frowned upon, so much so that you seldom saw that.
They wouldn't let her come. They wouldn't let her come back to England. They wouldn't let her go to the Vatican and stuff because of it. I remember that.
Now think about it. Now in today's time, there are more, like you said, the African American females I mean, and there are some occasional Caucasians or white folk that do it, but I'm just saying, it's like, it seems like that's what all these young girls are really looking up to. And I'm trying to understand, I'm really trying to truly understand, like, why is it so important
to destroy us?
Huh?
To destroy us?
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, that's why we get these weird looks from different, no disrespect, Anton, but weird looks from different dudes, for real. Because they've been programmed. Everybody's been programmed. Look at all these women, black women, that are going out and getting these, what do they call, BBLs?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. There's a
lot.
BBLs, they're getting the mommy makeovers and the tummy tucks.
And yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, did the media teach us that that's the only way to be beautiful? The only way to
Let me
be
tell you
sexy?
something.
It is now.
I'm going to tell you this. And this is, I might be the last male on earth that feels this way, okay? Yes, some of the BBLs look good on women.
So what? Some of the BBLs what?
Some of the BBLs do look good on the women, but I'm gonna say about 80% are trash. Like, I look at some of these women. I don't know. I look at women and I like natural. I don't like weave. If you got short hair, flaunt that shit. If God made you for a reason, He didn't make you to go out here and get a surgery to look like Kim Kardashian. Not everybody's into that. They're not. I mean, I've worked in a strip club for years, and there are girls that I know that went out and got the surgery, came back, and they looked off. You could see the stuff that was inside of them, and when they would shake their ass, one part would move, and then when the other part wouldn't. Like, it was horrible. Like, it was. And I was like, why would you put yourself through that? And the stuff you're putting in your body can physically hurt you. And it can make you sick. If it busts or anything,
it can kill you.
It can kill you. To do what?
I know someone.
But with
happened?
The videos.
With the videos?
Seeing, like, yeah, with the videos, with Cardi B, with Megan, everybody wants that body. Everybody wants that, because they're being sexually.
Everybody look like it.
Hey, sir.
But why? Tell me why.
It's not more why. I think it's more of a mental thing. It's what people see, how guys are looking at them, how they being sexualized, how they being put on some type of pedestal. Like, oh, I gotta have a body like that to get me a man that's gonna pay all my bills, or I gotta look a certain way to get what I need to get through life, instead of physically working on yourself or loving the person that you physically are.
Okay, so go ahead, Glove.
No, I was gonna say, okay. So do you think that's why people lose weight?
Or go to therapy?
People,
do they lose weight just to become
black people don't go to therapy like that. Let's put that out there. White people go more therapy than black people.
Since you brought that up, we talked about that too. Go to episode 1. Check us out. But no,
we've done this. We've done our study, man. Go ahead.
We've done our studies, and you absolutely right. Like, so for one, that's a mental thing. Okay.
Absolutely.
A lot of women go through things growing up that stir them toward BBLs and stripping and all kind of other things and being over sexualized because they feel like having sex with a man is going to keep the man or especially women with daddy issues. Okay, they feel like they have to give their body and give their self to a man to get the man to love them, and that's not the case. Again, this goes into mental health, um, spiritual, because they spirit is searching for something and it's missing something, and they're going out and getting these surgeries, thinking that, oh well, if I have Cardi B's body, when I come out of this, my life is going to be better, and it's not. And then half of them take this surgery and don't know that the weeks after this surgery, you're some of the worst pain of your life. Especially after you done had kids, and that they say that was the worst pain of their life. I've talked to these women. I know some of these women. Now there are women that have went through the surgery and their life has gotten better. Can't take that away from them.
But was that from the surgery?
Okay, that's what I was about to say. I wouldn't say it was the surgery.
Understanding and loving themselves, and that's why it gave them the desire to do better.
So that's what I'm saying. Does it take the surgery to make the woman love themselves? Does it take the surgery to make the woman want to work on themselves and get better spiritually, mentally, physically? Because now what you don't think is you get the surgery and you can just sit around and it's going to be that. You have to work to keep that.
Let me ask you a question, Anton. We talked, we said that the surgery and everything, spirituality, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
How does that change anything? So you have the surgery. What changed in your life other than your body?
Your mental, the way you see yourself. So okay, because there, you do know, because we've just been talking about women. Men are doing it too.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen it. Whoa. Go ahead.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Men are getting penis enlargements. They're getting butt jobs. They're putting on lace front.
Yeah, lace fronts.
I'm not going to call it. It's a fucking lace front. It's a lace front. It's everything is becoming so fucking fake that it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you something, but I'm going to leave that alone. And the reason I'm leaving it alone is because it's a community thing. So I'm going to just let that part go. But
no, hit me with it.
No, not on here. We'll talk.
Do you feel like it's a brainwash?
For what?
For our people?
Yeah. Do you feel like it's another form of brainwash?
What?
The BBLs, the men going out and having surgery as well. You feel like it's more of a brainwash, is more signs that things are in their head, like, oh yeah, that's what I got to do because they did it. I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna change.
There's no doubt about it. You know, what's even crazier is a lot of these ladies, you know, and I can't speak for everybody. I'm not saying everybody, but I will say a lot of them really grew up with very, very low self-esteem. And it could have been also, it could be stemming from incidents that happened when they were younger and growing into womanhood or what have you. And, you know, it can break a person. It can break their spirit. It can break a person. So they feel like this is the only way that I'll survive. I can only survive off of my looks. But what people are not understanding is all that filler and all that stuff that you're putting in your body, which, I mean, you know what? If you want to do it, go for it. I don't care. But at the end of the day, what happens when you're 90, or let's say you make it to 90? Let's pray you make it. You make it to 70, 80, and 90. You're going to keep doing BBLs at 70, at 80?
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
90.
there's
Because
some
at the end of the
out there that's
day,
doing that.
okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, how does that fix all of this? How does that
It,
fix all of this? You see what
that's
I'm saying?
exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't, and it's mental. That is mental. That
It's
is
for the
mental because
age, whether you want
if
to or
you
not.
if you was right with your maker and you was right in your mind and you did the healing and you did the work to heal yourself, there's not a person on this earth that couldn't tell you, well, you're ugly, you're fat. First and foremost, let me say this. I am a man in America. I am a black man in America. I have been heavy my whole fucking life, and I got up to 620 pounds. I cannot make this up. But couldn't nobody tell me I wasn't the sexiest man in my motherfucking weight class. I've never been without a woman. Um, I've done things that I know some skinny men couldn't do. No, I am not where I want to be today. I am at 420. I still got work I have to do on myself, but that's work I have to do. I'm not going to come up with $20,000 and go get a surgery to make me look like the fucking Rock, and then 10 years from now, kill over of a heart attack because I didn't do the work. That makes no
It's a quick
sense.
fix. It's a quick fix.
Right. That makes no
Painful
sense.
as hell, but it's a quick fix. And the thing of it is, it doesn't stay.
Right.
And it's
And
like
keep giving these people money to, well, this my chest done failed. Now it's time to pump it up again. Right. Oh, well, the penis enlargement worked, but now I'm limp. Can you put a rod in it where I stay hard? Like, what the? No. Just instead of paying the thousands of dollars, that's another thing. People are so afraid of hard fucking work. It's amazing. It's amazing.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They always looking for the easy way out.
Yeah, but I mean, as we all know, within spirituality and our beliefs in the gods and God and or whoever maybe have a higher power, I don't know. But did it ever occur to everyone that I forgot what I was going to say? I really did.
You know, we talk about these things and everything, and what we haven't talked about is this.
I got it. I'm sorry. I know what it was, Anton. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What is the spirit that says, okay, first of all, you know, beauty is a big one. It is a big one. And if you feel that beauty, I mean, it's like, I guess what I'm saying is it's like, well, for one, you get all these different makeovers. That's not who you were. That's not who you are. You changed everything about yourself. You changed it all. You feel like this is going to make you feel better. It may temporarily. Oh, you may be excited about the outcome, but you also got to look at 10 years down the line when you may not have the money to do another BBL update or whatever. What happens? The breasts that you had, you going to be 90 years old with perky breasts.
I mean,
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's definitely out there.
Okay. I have no words. I have nothing to say about it.
I've seen
I just know that
old
personally,
woman
you got to be vain. You got to be a vain person. You got to be very vain if you feel like that's the only thing that's going to improve your life. You got to be vain as all get out. You go get the BBL. Is that you got to be vain? You have to be vain. That's just like,
okay. Ain't vanity one of the daily sins?
okay, that's what I was going to bring up. That's what I was going to. I said we were talking about spirituality, so let's talk about it. You know, you that being vain is, among others, is a sin as well. So
yeah.
Again, I met someone. I know the person. It was a lady. She was one of the doctors. She wanted to lose weight. okay, there's nothing wrong with losing weight. I think that's a beautiful thing. However, she went under the knife. She wanted to get the BBL. She wanted to get the stomach thing. Everything. Anyway, she ended up dying of a blood clot. She died. You know, so you didn't get to test out the sexiness that you were looking for, that you were trying to buy.
And I guarantee you, there was some man or woman sitting somewhere that loved her for who she was and not for what she looked like. I say this all the time. Yes, physical attraction is a thing, but physical always fails. What is eventually. It? Eventually, it will. There's got to be something outside of that. That's like materialistic shit. You can dress. Lord forgive me. Lil Wayne is one of the ugliest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. but with as much money as he has and the way he portrays himself, there's not too many women on this earth that won't be with him. There's not. I mean, that's if you put a picture of a gremlin, Spike, and put a picture of Lil Wayne side by side, they look the fucking same. I'm sorry.
The gremlin name, you said Spike.
Anybody try to test me? See if I'm lying. Put the picture side by side and see if they don't look alike.
The gremlin's name is Spike.
But even that, you can't deny his talent and you can't deny his money. Which is, he's been with some of the hottest women in the industry, hands down. You can't take that away from him. So you can dress up anything. The only thing wrong with an ugly person is they're broke. That's it. Because if you give them $1 million and they go out and they get a good car, they get nice clothes, they get their teeth fixed, they get a nice hairdo, that day everything changes. Everything. I guarantee it. Another one, Jay-Z, is not the most handsome man on this planet. I'm sorry. He looks like something from Planet of the Apes. But he, quote unquote, has the baddest chick in the game. He has Beyonce. If you look at Jay-Z when he first started with the gold grill, oh my God.
Yeah, but see, look, he was hanging out with Aaliyah at that moment.
Yeah, and look who's gone after a blood sacrifice. Who was his right-hand man? Damon Dash. They are no longer cool. Why is that? Why did Jay-Z go on to create Rock Nation and cut Damon Dash out? Because they had Rockefeller together. There's a lot, man.
Yeah. Well, we kind of got off a little bit of the subject that we were,
It happens.
That's fine too, because we do that, and that's who we are. So sorry, guys, we do sidebars all the time.
So let's bring it back. So we're talking about that, right? Demonic stuff, the blood sacrifices, the people that are no longer here. Kanye West, everybody calls him crazy. Everybody says he's out of his mind. Let's be honest, before his mom passed away, I'm going to say that for this second before I get to my next thing. He was semi in his right mind, but before Kanye got famous, he was in a car accident and almost lost his life. Should have died, but his mouth was wired and he came back. And that's when he got with Jay-Z and everything and became famous. Then when he got toward the $20 million mark, his mom passed away. If you look it up with the Illuminati, once you make it that far, especially with Freemasons and everything else, you have to sacrifice something to reach over that plateau. Some men, they put in dresses. Some they do other things too, but you have to give up something. After that point, everybody started calling Kanye crazy. Said he was bipolar. Um, if I blood sacrifice my mom, I'd go crazy too. But now I
Right.
feel like he's trying to fight. He's trying to fight against that and come back. But he's making moves that people don't understand. It's not for us to understand. That's the battle he has to fight. That's his spiritual battle that he has to talk to God about.
What do you think makes, is it that serious? Like, I don't know. And I'm just curious. Like, everybody wants, and I'm gonna say everybody, and I don't know not one person that doesn't want to be well off, okay, financially. I don't know, not the first person. If I'm wrong, maybe it's because they're
You're not.
already
Hell,
well off
I
and they
want to
wish
be.
they didn't have that life. But
I want to
I
be.
don't. I don't want to wake up Monday morning and go to work. I don't. I don't.
But so my question, what I am curious about is like, what makes why? So when people, this is no disrespect to the Mason community or the Eastern Stars, and I want to make sure that we put that out there. I'm just very curious. Why do most people join that organization? I mean, I will be honest. My mother was an Eastern Star. My father was a Mason. I never asked them that question. I always felt it was so taboo to talk about Eastern Stars or Masonry or whatever, because they weren't ever going to be honest with me. Meaning,
Why do you feel like they wouldn't be honest with you?
they wouldn't, because there's an oath.
And you wasn't part of it. Okay.
I'm not a part of that oath. So if I'm not a part of it, regardless of I'm your child or not, you're not going to tell me anything. I did read, though.
Okay.
I do know what that blue book entails. I do know people shouldn't leave stuff out for kids to get a hold of and read, but I know, you know what I'm saying? So, but my question again is, why would you want to involve yourself in a secret organization?
Well, you asked me that. That's like asking a gang member why join the gang.
They'll say
A
it's
bike
a
club.
family or brotherhood, and I get it. And that's what they'll say about this too. But at the end of the day, I don't know about everybody else. People have come to me that are part of that particular situation, be like, you really want to make some money, you want to be rich, you know, you may want to think about joining this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm like, what does that have
I'm
to do
glad
with?
I'm glad you said that, because I have been approached by two different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
One is the Freemasons, and one is another organization. I don't know if I should say the name of them, but I was promised riches and everything else. Now, there are some Freemasons that I know that are in my family that are I would consider friends. Ain't none of them rich. Ain't none of them faring any better than I am right now.
Maybe it's because you didn't pay all that money for them dues that you're supposed to pay.
Okay, so that being said, I'm gonna say this. I don't know much about the organization. I do know some things. And as far as them dues and things are concerned, I got enough problems paying my bills. Why would I give my money to an organization that's not? I have watched certain organizations take money from these men, and then these men go through things at home, and this organization does not help them.
I'm sorry. Would you all mind if we took a quick break, please? Just one break,
Sure.
please. Okay. Hi, welcome. We're back. Okay, Anton, you were talking about Kanye West and Jay-Z and
I was just saying, like, there's certain things that would run me crazy too. If I had to blood sacrifice one of my parents to become rich and famous, I'd be messed up in the head too.
Yeah, I'm really trying to understand that. Why would anybody want to sacrifice their family member to be rich and famous? Is it
why would you want to sacrifice anybody? Why if I can't get famous off of my hard work and my merit, me killing somebody or getting somebody killed or sacrificing a goat to the gods is what's gonna get me somewhere. I don't need it. I've been in the trenches. I've been at the bottom. I've walked around with a pocket full of money. I've walked around with nothing. I can't see myself. If I'm gonna sacrifice something, I'm gonna sacrifice my time. I'm gonna sacrifice sleep. I'm gonna sacrifice something that has to deal with me. I'm not gonna sacrifice somebody else or something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving up none of my kids. I'm not. I'm not giving up the love of my life. I won't. I'm
Well,
not.
how do you give up your mother? How do you
That's
give up your father?
okay.
Your child?
That being said, let's look at certain situations. Okay, dealing with the Illuminati and people and the rise of fame and everything. Like you mentioned, Jay-Z used to hang out with Aaliyah, Jay-Z. I'm not going to say he was super popular, but he had a little buzz. Aaliyah's gone. He skyrocketed. Jennifer Hudson.
Was skyrocketing at that time.
She was skyrocketing at that time. Jennifer Hudson. I think she either won American Idol or came in second. One of the two, I can't remember. But she had a little buzz. Her family got killed. She shot to the top. There's certain things you can pin to certain people that you see where it happened. And they say a lot of people that talk about it, it's conspiracy theories and things like that. Why you have people that's in the industry coming out talking about it now,
Real.
talking about it's facts. It's facts.
It may not be considered the word Illuminati, although we know what that means, but it's also, you're still talking about demons and stuff. So,
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're talking about the parties you got to go to where you got to give up your phone and then you got to prick your finger and give up some blood to get in the party. That all these sexual things is happening at. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't understand how anybody can give up their family. I don't get it, but you got to really be that greedy to really want to do that. And at the end of the day, where does that leave you in the end? In the end, when you're there and you have to look at your maker,
you're going to burn in hell.
Well, son, daughter, you wanted to be rich. You chose to be rich. You were determined to be rich. You decided to let other people, or even yourself, sacrifice the ones that you know you should have loved even more than yourself. What do you think that he's going to really say?
You failed.
You killed my child. You killed my child. That's what he's going to say. And when he says you killed my child, I want to know how you're going to get out of that.
Ain't no, man, well, it wasn't me.
I didn't do it.
I didn't physically do it.
No, you might not have physically did it, but you're guilty by the association. You allowed someone to go out and do that.
You might not have pulled the trigger, but you pulled the trigger.
You did. You had the gun, you handed it off, and he pulled the trigger, or whatever. The fact still remains, what are you going to say when all is said and done, and you're on your deathbed? And I pray to God that whoever, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, Lord, there's a lot. Even right now, I know I've already started my list of God forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we don't know.
You're repentant.
Right. I'm at the God forgive me stage. So I'm saying to myself, if I wait, because a lot of folk wait because they want to get involved in these little organizations that do not even glorify who God is. So what they do is they get into these organizations. They think they got this brotherly love and all that, but yet you're sacrificing your kids, your family members, your loved ones. I mean, come on. Like, where do you think this is going to leave you in the very end when it becomes you looking at your maker in his face and he says, "You killed my child." That's powerful. I done got chills, y'all. I got chills. That's powerful. That's a powerful thing right there.
It is.
When
I
he
mean, it
already
has to be
died.
somebody's. I feel like it's somebody. For somebody to do that, they really had to have somebody persuade them, like it get in their head about whatever it is that they want. In order for something like that to, for them, it's like, okay, well, I love them, but I love my lifestyle. I love me more than I love that person, so I'm willing to give up them just so I can keep going. I don't see nobody really consciously doing that,
Okay,
but it
so
happens, I guess.
you telling me somebody can come to you right now and whatever situation you're in, right, and tell you, hey, Stacy, we'll give you $60 million. You have to hit this button and you got to give up one person in your life. You can't pick the person. Just know,
For you.
yeah,
Because they know
somebody,
your heart. They know where your heart really lies. So they're going to
right,
know who to pick.
right. You have to you one person, one person. That's it.
And it's usually the one you
We'll,
love the most.
and we'll give you 60 million, and you'll never hear from us again.
What would you
You
do?
hitting that button?
I'm not hitting that button because I couldn't sacrifice. If you gonna know who I really, really love and who I really carry in my heart, for you to
They
feel
know.
like I'm gonna let you just take that away from me, nah, I'd rather give up my lifestyle. I'd rather give up my career to keep what I have. I go broke.
But look at the
You're not
people
gonna
that
take you're not gonna take my kids. You're not gonna take the love of my life. You're not gonna take my house. Take my car. Take materialistic things I can get back. I can't get the person. I can't birth other kids.
That's
That
the
might not
point.
happen again.
That's the point of a blood sacrifice. That's
that's
exactly it.
exactly what it
You're
is.
sacrificing something you cannot get back
You can
to
never get
get
back.
to some place you want to
To
go.
get to the bag.
No,
Yep,
I'm good.
And that's the
that's
I
it.
like
work paycheck to paycheck.
but that's what but see, that's what I'm trying. I would you know what? I've never been in that position where anyone's ever offered me $1 million and things. And but my thing is, you know that there's something attached to it. And
Okay.
I'm not like my sons, I have 3 sons. I got a granddaughter, a grandson. I'm I'm not. Even the people that I used to love, I can't. Hell, to be honest, there's nobody I can do that to. Like there's no one. I don't know any. I can be mad. No, I get it. I can be mad as hell. I can be mad.
You people
But
I
at the
can
end of
just
the day,
say,
no, think about it, Anton. Think about this for a second. I see you. I see you.
I'm
I
I'm
see
a,
you.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay, and this is
And then I'm gonna ask you the next question after that. Go ahead. Because I know what you have
if
to do.
if somebody came to me and offered me 60 million, right, and I could pick the person,
I'm picking.
I wouldn't.
I could pick a person.
I
I
can't.
could.
I
I
could pick
can't.
them.
And
I could.
I could pick them, but I wouldn't
I
want
know
that
it's
money.
I know it sounds bad for me to say that. I know it does, but
It does.
there's really no but. Um,
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I just want to make sure I'm clear.
okay.
You said if they offered you $60 million, you already know the
Mhm.
person that you would choose.
Yep.
So you're telling me that you would choose
Yeah.
to get that $60 million.
Yep.
And then when you go to God,
and I'm gonna tell
and
you,
when God looks in your face,
uh-huh.
when God looks in your face and he
Yeah.
says, Anton, you did a great job while you were on earth, but there's only one problem that's going to separate you from me.
Yep.
You killed my child.
Yeah, I
And you're
did.
going to be okay with still with that 60 mil, right? By the way, you already dead, so you're going to be okay
You
with
right.
that 60 mil. You dead at 3 o'clock. Oh,
So
tape it.
I'm gonna say this. Yes, sir. I did. I did.
At least you're honest. There you go.
I did. I did. I made that choice, and I'm going to take my punishment. I have no choice but to take my punishment. I am. You know my heart. You know me. This one thing might cancel out all the good I've done. That's absolutely possible, and I get that. Not that I'm going to try to defend myself because there's no defense against that. But the person I have in mind, what they did to me, I still feel some type of way about. And that 60 million, maybe I got to touch it, maybe I didn't, but it'll take care of the people I left behind. As long as they're taken care of, I can't. I know I'm going to work hard enough to fulfill my legacy. So, do I think I'll ever be in that position to make a blood sacrifice? No. Can I sit here right now today and say if I was in that position that I'd make the right choice? No, I'm human. I want to sit here and say no, I wouldn't give a person up. I want to say that. I want to, but I can't. Being honest, I can't sit here and say that I wouldn't. I don't wish death on nobody.
You okay. Okay.
Am I willing to sacrifice myself for my loved ones? Absolutely.
That's a whole different
Am I willing? Am I willing to take a bullet for anybody I love? Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I understand that. But what I'm saying is that you have someone in mind that you know that you could offer as a blood.
Oh yeah, they're out of here. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay,
He's gone.
What about you?
If I got to choose, I got a person. Most definitely.
I don't. Other than you, I don't think there's a person that doesn't have one person that they can say, if it was me having a better life or them gone, they wouldn't be gone.
Okay, so
it's like if God gave us a day to purge, to get everything out.
Would you? Would you purge
out of our system?
But you know that would not be of God, though. That's not going to be.
It wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't be. And I'm not saying it would be, but I'm just saying if it was.
Stacey, you did say
I did. But I mean, if God came to you and said, "Look,
that's a whole different ball game."
It's a whole different ball game. But everybody, I feel like everybody has that one person that has done them or said something, made them whatever. Everybody has that one person they might have in the back of their head that I wish I could turn back and just handle it the way I wanted to. Or they got the little things on Facebook where it says, would you slap this person? Or would you slap your sister for such and such amount of money?
I'll slap the shit out of anybody, but I'm just saying.
Shit.
Wait,
Oh
Okay,
my
wait.
God,
okay,
you got
hold on, hold
So
on, hold
$4 million.
on, hold on,
I
time
punch
out.
you, I beat
So,
the shit out you, I do whatever I gotta do. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna have I'm not.
so what's the, okay. So, Glow, I got two questions. One, what's the difference in what you just said than what I just said?
The difference is I'm not gonna take your life. I'm not gonna allow anyone to take I don't want anyone to take your life.
You don't want the
That's the
blood on your
difference.
hand.
No, no, it's not even about being blood on my hand. It's about like, okay, so I was sitting
You,
there thinking, I'm like, is there anybody? I really was thinking that while y'all were talking. I was like, is there anybody? I was like, there was one person in my life that I thought that I wanted to do that to. I kid you not. I wanted that to happen. But something
before you
changed.
finish that, before you finish that, is the person still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that being said, okay, this leads to my second question. They make a purge legal. One day, would you? You wouldn't. You would just stay in the house.
What I mean, like what? Kill people? I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do it.
You don't think. You honestly don't think that somebody could push you to the point where you would murder somebody?
I didn't say that. I never said that. I'm not
Okay.
saying that.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's never happened to me. Although I've been pushed to that point where it could have happened. But okay, fine. So I have been pushed to that point where it was like, you know what?
You're not just going to go out and do it. You have to be pushed. You have to be taken there. Somebody has to push you to the
You
extreme.
gotta be that person that can literally push me to that level.
Right,
Now,
right,
the only
right.
time I think that I would really do damage to someone is if they hurt my child, my grandbaby.
Okay.
oh yeah, you going
Okay,
to war.
that's it. That's it. But I can't even like. So it would I do it then? I don't know. But I pray on everything that I never ever have to be put in a position to wonder if I need to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
because that's gonna
right.
be a battle that I know I could potentially lose and everything. But I honestly I would never sacrifice anyone for riches, for
Excuse me.
fame, for none of that. I really would never do that. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's cool. I'm rich today because I made sure that I sacrificed somebody. And then 10 days from now, I'm in a car accident. I didn't even get a chance to even enjoy it. It may be there for my family, but I didn't get to enjoy it with my family. So
See, I think that's my thing.
yeah.
I don't care about enjoying it. I don't care.
With your family?
I don't. No. What I'm saying is, if it came to me and I made that choice to do that, I wouldn't care about myself at that point. I think the reason I would make that decision is based on what it's going to do for my circle, what it's going to do for the people I love. I,
But what is
I'm
it
not,
gonna
I'm
do
not
to the
worried. I'm not worried about going out and buying a Bugatti. I'm not worried about the fame. I'm not worried about none of that. I would look at it as, okay, I'm probably about to leave her. I don't want them to struggle burying me because I've watched people die and I've watched their family crumble off of debt, off of I'm gonna tell you what pisses me off. These funeral homes and shit charges so much for a funeral and things. I feel like it's a fucking scam. And they do this to people, and people are putting up GoFundMe's and all this stuff because they can't bury their loved ones. That is fucking sick to me. That is so sick that I don't understand it. And then if you want to do something special and leave them a tombstone, that's another $15,000 to bury a person. Then when I was growing up, it used to be like $600 to cremate somebody. You know what it is right now today? What you want to know what it is in Kentucky?
I don't know what it is in Kentucky. It should be over 3,000, but go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know to bury someone is like over 8, anywhere between 8 and 10, if not more.
Here it's
way more.
No, not in Louisville, Kentucky.
It's between 8 and I know it's every bit of 10 here.
Oh, it's over that.
It's over that here. To bury somebody here, you just to bury that. It doesn't include you picking the plot if they're going on the wall, going on the ground. You bet every bit $17,000-$18,000, sir.
It might be. And that's the crazy part. That's why I've always told my sons, I told them, I said, whatever you do not go buying caskets and stuff. That stuff's not going to even last. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? That's $10,000 that you could have left in your pocket for something for the grandchildren or for someone else. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in cremation. I believe in ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I really believe in that. I don't believe in putting somebody through all of that. I know what we went through.
Do you know that if you buy a house, I don't care what state you're in, if you die and you get buried on that land, they can never take that land from your family?
Or charge you property taxes?
I never heard of that. I've never heard that.
Look it up.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but I'm trying to sneak one in.
Because you consider, what is it? You considered a gravesite or
yeah. And they can and they cannot
about 15, 20 years ago.
And they cannot legally move your body.
No,
that is there.
Unfortunately, we don't have anyone that's buried on the property of my home place. But the reason I say this, okay, let me explain. There was one person in my family that really took everything from my family. Took everything. All the financials, it wasn't even for, and I can't even speak for myself because I personally didn't want it, but it was for my children. Their legacy.
Right.
And my parents wanted that. And the person decided to fake love my parents because they knew what my parents ended up giving them money to help build their home. And they basically, in their latter years, this person just kept coming around, and there was always monies involved. And then it was like they were sneaking them off to the doctors, and they were sneaking them off to the banks, and they were sneaking them off to the lawyers, and they would come to find out this person decides to take all the medications from my father, and he didn't even know who I was in the end. And my mom, she was perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden she got really sick. And it was like, I remember one day I was like, Mom, I said, you got to be careful of who you're letting into your circle. She says, do I look stupid? Well, she ended up leaving from here. And he made sure she didn't get to sign her will.
Damn.
So we're talking about a fortune, and I'm not even trying to put this. I'm just being honest. It was a fortune. It was a lot of money that was rolled up, and my parents were land rich, big time, land rich. They had funds, they had it all, but at the end of the day, what ended up happening? It was a cousin that took Everything. And do you know his son is currently living in my parents' home right now? Okay. And the only thing that does give me satisfaction is something you just said, Anton.
Have I felt like
That's
doing
why I
something?
said I can't do
See,
anything.
that's what I'm saying. Shit like
Because
that.
I know in my heart of hearts, my gut of guts, my everything, I know God so well that I know what the plans are for my boy.
Right. I think that's a lot of people's saving grace for me. Okay, because the things that's been done to me, instead of me retaliating, I've let God handle, and He handled it way better than I could have. So
He really did on my behalf too. I'm not gonna
I think that's why I'm sitting here with you two at 44, not in prison, not dead, with my health and everything. Because instead of me seeking revenge, I went on with life.
Well, he also is going to seek it for you. You know that he's our armor. You know, and so that's what I'm saying. Like that's the one thing that satisfies me the most is the knowledge of knowing. Again, like I said, it was through the grace of God that I let it all go because I knew that God was on my side. And in the end, guess what? He's gonna handle that. I have no problem.
Absolutely.
Got a brother right now 6 feet under because he handled it.
That's wild.
And
In due time.
Yeah, everything, you know. So really, I guess the moral of the whole story is if you want to celebrate Halloween, feel free to do so. I think that's your business. I think that, you know, I understand the recreational part of it all. It is fun. I understand, you know, bobbing for apples. I don't know if they do that no more, but I get all that. I get all the trick-or-treating and the making up of the faces. I get all that. I think that's a beautiful thing if that's what you want for your family. But as far as I'm concerned, I know what it means now. And I can't ignore it.
Yeah, you can't turn it off. Now that you know, you can't
let it go. Right? I can't unsee it. So now I don't celebrate it. I don't. But that's just glow. Well, everybody, this was a great segment. Hope everybody does have a safe and happy Halloween. You know, enjoy.
Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Again, like and subscribe to the page. Will be greatly appreciated. There's going to be some episodes coming up, and we're going to touch on some things a lot deeper. And there's about to be some real conversations. I hope y'all ready. We have some people coming up that I'm not going to say their names right now, but these are people with a lot of influence and have a lot of knowledge of things. And we hope y'all stick around to get the information because we're about to put out a lot of information. And
it's going to make you think. It's going to really make you think.
Absolutely.
Our job isn't to change you. Our job is to give you other avenues that could be out there that you're probably not even aware of. So,
absolutely.
All right. Well, our next, everybody, just know that. Okay, so we've got an artist that's going to be coming up on the Artist Corner of the Independent Artist Network TV. His name is SK or
Seven
King, I think. Yes, Seven Kings LLC. He will be coming up. He's a hip hop he's a rap artist. I'm gonna cut all this off. He's a rap artist, and we are looking forward to bringing him in. And I'm gonna cut all that off, and then because obviously that didn't come out right. But go ahead.
So we thank y'all for coming out and viewing in. Stacy, thank you again for doing the show with us.
Stacey.
Glow, it is always a wonderful time doing these shows.
I love it. It's fun. I enjoy it. I do.
Until next time, people, this is your big brother Anton signing off.
And Gloria Talley saying goodbye.
Good night.
But what's your name, man?
Oh, Stacy Johnson.
Let me stop this message. No, everybody, you all have a beautiful night, okay?